Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dory and today I want to talk to you about something that took me ages to figure out. What if I told you there's a few simple tricks that you can do to prevent blisters? Alright, so let's dive straight in. So blisters are basically the result of a fluid that is built up under the upper layers of your skin. And that fluid is actually the result of some friction or some rubbing that happened and actually damaged that skin. So the fluid is actually there to protect that part of your skin that got damaged. And as a result, you get a blister. Alright, and now I'm here to tell you that there's a few simple things that you can do to prevent blisters from forming and also to make your hike a lot more comfortable. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that you have correct fitting shoes. And with that I mean you need shoes that are not too tight or not too loose. Without going into detail about how you need to find the right fit for your feet, there's a few things that you need to pay attention to, and especially you need to have some room where your toes are, so at least one finger of room between your toes and the shoe. And also you have to make sure that your heel is not slipping. The main reason you have to get the perfect fit for your feet is to prevent friction or rubbing against your skin, and that friction or rubbing will cause, then again, blisters. This is probably the most important tip, is just get the right hiking shoes. Alright, I used to love this one pair of hiking shoes and I actually bought them because I thought they were brilliant. Everyone was raving about it, but every time I put them on it was like they don't fit my feet, and I couldn't understand why, because it was part of a Salomon collection and everyone was raving about this particular shoe, and so I bought it. But in the end I ended up returning them because I didn't want to end up with a lot of blisters. Eventually I found the right fit for my feet, and I still have Salomons, but it's just a different model. So what I should suggest you do is always listen to your body. Okay, if you think that these shoes are not right for you, just don't listen to the salesperson that says, well, you know, this is the best hiking shoe that we've got. No, because there's hiking shoes for everyone and not everyone has the same feet. So just bear that in mind when you go shopping for shoes. Okay, so another thing you need to do if you go and buy new hiking shoes, always walk them in. Gradually build up the mileage in them and make sure that your feet are accustomed to the new shoes. Some shoes will be easier to walk in than others, especially when you buy leather shoes. They take a little bit more time, and from what they told me, it takes about 4 weeks to walk in leather shoes, whereas other shoes might be a little bit more easy to walk in. Okay, but just let your feet adjust to the new shoe and let your shoe also adjust to the feet. Alright, so what you can do is just go for short walks and build up that mileage gradually. Secondly, and this is something that I swear by, is, well, first of all, you need good socks. And you can buy those hiking socks. They're a little bit more expensive, but they provide extra padding in the areas that you need it. And also they will be of a material that wicks away the moisture and provides you with that extra comfort on your hike. Okay, nowadays you have double layered socks as well, and they have 2 layers, and the first layer actually absorbs the moisture and the second layer acts as an extra padding. Now what I usually do, and I would recommend that to everyone, is I wear 2 pairs of socks. I wear a sock liner, which is like a thin sock, and that actually absorbs the moisture of my feet. And on top of that I wear a second pair of socks, and this is just a normal hiking sock. I use merino wool socks, but you don't have to have merino wool socks. The only thing I need to mention is that please do not wear cotton socks, because the cotton will absorb the moisture but it will stay wet, and then because your feet are wet it will cause extra friction, and then again it will cause blisters. Another thing you have to keep in mind is to always keep your feet dry. There's a few things you can do to keep your feet dry, and one of them is actually put some talcum powder on your feet or in your socks. And the same goes with cornstarch. Okay, you can use that as an alternative for talcum powder. And of course another thing you can do is change your socks frequently. Okay, but I'm usually the one that only brings 2 pairs of socks on a long distance hike, and by that I mean I have 1 pair of sock liners and 2 pairs of extra socks that I put over the sock liner, and the sock liner is merino wool, which absorbs all the moisture. Apart from keeping your feet dry, another thing you need to think about is toughen your feet. Okay, when you build up calluses on your hikes, or when you're walking and you build up calluses, you just want to, you know, get rid of those calluses, but they will provide an extra padding and will in turn prevent blisters, because the rubbing will not damage your skin as quickly as when you don't have calluses. Something to always keep in mind as well is always to cover areas that are prone to blisters, such as like the little toe on the outside, and, you know, for example, your heels. If your heel is slipping in your shoe, I will guarantee you will get a blister. But if you then put some extra padding around it so that it prevents your heel from slipping, or it will also protect your skin from getting damaged, then you will not get blisters. Okay, so some things that you can use for padding is, well, again, an extra pair of socks, or you can use bandages, or you can even use those blister plasters, because they will not only protect the existing blisters, but they will also prevent them from occurring. Something that I have never tried but was recommended to me is to lubricate your feet. So I know I mentioned before that you need to keep your feet dry, but if you rub some oil on your feet, that will help you prevent friction and rubbing the skin against the shoe, because your feet will actually slide in your shoe, okay? And you know, this is something that ultra runners use. I haven't tried it myself. If you have tried it, please let me know in the comments below, because I do not want to recommend you guys something that I haven't tried, but it was all over the internet that it works. And it would be nice if you could let me know if you have tried it and if it does work. And then the last thing I want to mention about blister prevention is, if you feel any type of discomfort or any pain in your feet or somewhere, then I would recommend to always stop and adjust your shoes, okay? Or just do whatever it takes to make your feet comfortable in your shoes, because the longer you keep going and ignoring the pain, the worse the blister will be, and probably the more it will hurt. It could be as simple as just adjusting your laces, or, you know, just putting some extra padding around the side of your feet. Some shoes might have some seams that can rub against your feet, and it's always important to know that before you go on a hike. But also, if you didn't and you feel that it's rubbing, then just please stop and adjust it, okay? It's just so simple, but prevention is key when it comes to blisters. Now, if you did all these things and you still end up with a blister, there's a few things that you also need to remember for taking care of your blister, okay? You can do basically two things. You can pop your blisters, which I wouldn't recommend unless it's necessary, or you can just leave it and put some extra padding on and leave it to heal over the next couple of days. When you decide to pop a blister, always think about the fact that it will increase your chances of infection, and always keep an eye on infections if you do pop it, okay? Because then it basically leaves you with an open wound, and you might take care of it very carefully, but you can still end up with an infection. So what I would recommend, to always leave the blister and take a lot of blister plasters with you, just in case. Like, I haven't needed any in like the last 2 years, but the blister plasters will basically provide that extra padding to protect the existing blisters and give you a little bit more comfort on your hike. If you want to know how to get rid of a blister safely by popping it, then I will put a link in the description below that you can check out. And because I'm not a doctor, I know you have to sterilize and you have to have clean hands and stuff like that, but it's always better to get advice from a professional. For now, this was a very short video, but for me, it took me so long to figure these things out, and some of it I had from the internet, some of it I had from other hikers, and honestly, every tip that I just given you will make your life so much easier on the trail. And if you know another tip, then please let me know in the comments below, because I would love to learn from you guys as well. And if you comment down below, you will help other people that are watching this channel. I hope this information will help you to prevent blisters, and if it does, please let me know as well. And if you're frustrated with your blisters, let me know. What are some of your horror stories when it comes to blisters? You know, it's one of the things that can make your hike like a nightmare if you have them. But just by using these simple tricks, you can just avoid them. So I really hope this information was useful to you guys. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!